What's going on, guys? It's Brandon back here today. And today we're going to be discussing the 2015-16 Chicago Blackhawks. We're within 5 seasons ago, not including this one that's upcoming. So we're getting near the end of this, and it's also right around the time where the decline begins. And it doesn't seem very prominent at first, but after 2017, it shows that the Hawks are going to be done, as we'll see next time. For a few years, hopefully this year they'll make the climb back. But at this point, it looked completely normal, just a first-round exit, and the Hawks still looked pretty good on paper. And then, so if we start, we got the record. It was 47, 26, and 9 for 103 points. So one point better than the previous season where they had 102 and won the Cup. So things were looking good. They were third in the Central, fourth in the West, but they also could be third. They were tied for third. I said they were fourth because Anaheim was the leader of the Pacific, and I gave the edge to Anaheim, so I'll say fourth in the West. Seventh in the league, which they also could have been fifth or sixth because Anaheim had the same amount of points and Florida had the same amount of points. They were both division leaders, so I gave the edge to them over Chicago. So overall, one of the top teams in the league. They're contenders at this point. Their coach is Joel Quenneville. Their captain, Jonathan Toews, as it will be for another few years. Their goals for was 9th with 235. Their goals against was 10th with 209. Their leading scorer, Patrick Kane, who had 46 goals, 60 assists, 106 points, as he wins the Art Ross, Ted Lindsay, and Hart. I'm pretty sure he was the first American to win the Art Ross trophy, so that was an accomplishment for Patrick Kane. And this season pretty much solidified his spot in the Hall of Fame without question. His first 100-point season, he'd have another one later on, which we'll get to. And incredible season by Kane, especially after getting injured in the previous season, missed 20-something games. He came back this year and just dominated. Their best goalie, without question, Corey Crawford, 35, 18, and 5. Pretty solid record. And in the playoffs, they had some higher expectations. And they were taking on St. Louis in the first round, and they beat St. Louis 2 years previous in 6. But this time they lose in 7, which it wasn't a huge shocker. St. Louis was a very good team. They were higher than Chicago in the standings, and they're also on their way to a conference final. So this is on their steady uphill, and they're getting nearer towards the Cup. They lose in 7. They were down 3-1 in the series. They lost a couple games in overtime, and that kind of got them off on the bad start. Then Game 5, Patrick Kane saves them with an overtime winner. Game 6, they win. In Game 7, they were so close to coming back. There were several occasions that they go down 3-1 and they almost fight back. We gone over this in Vancouver in 2011. They were down 3-0, 3-1. They came back, but they didn't win. 2013, they did come back from 3-1 down against Detroit. And in 2014, they were down 3-1 against LA. They came back, forced Game 7, and lost in overtime. And this year, they came back from 3-1 down against St. Louis. They're a never-give-up team, but sometimes, and most of the time, in this case, it's just never enough for Chicago. Only that Detroit series, they were able to complete the full upset, not upset, comeback. But you get the idea. That's really all of that. This was kind of like, when I was researching this, there wasn't really much anything big that happened this year. They weren't necessarily a top team in their division. They were a better team in the league, but they were kind of overshadowed by Dallas, who won the division this year. St. Louis won the division. Florida won their division, which was a big story that year. They looked like they were finally going to break through and do something. It just didn't work out. Washington won the President's Trophy. People thought they were going to win it all that year, so the Hawks were overshadowed by this. And they'd come back the next season, have a really good regular season, but as we'll talk about next time, the playoffs did not go as the way anyone expected. However, that's for next time. That's all I have for you guys today, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.